One of the hardest parts of recovering from emotional neglect is the voice in your head that says, you're making this up, or you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Today, we're answering the 5 toughest questions we get from clients who are trying to heal from invisible trauma.
We're going to talk about why you push people away, how to handle guilt, and most importantly, we're going to answer the one terrifying question every parent with a trauma history asks themselves is, am I passing this on to my own kids?
So the first one, Verlynda, the imposter syndrome of trauma. So this question is something like this, like I feel like a fraud calling my childhood traumatic because my parents were decent people and I really had everything I needed. Like, am I just being dramatic? And this is kind of a hallmark symptom of what we call the trauma of omission, where there's no bruises. The brain struggles to validate the pain that has occurred, that has happened. And so what we want to do, if that is your situation, is to remind you that neglect is not about what you had. Like, you had toys, you had food, you had a bed to sleep in, and that's great. Those are good things. But it's about what you missed that should have come along with those practical things. Stuff like emotional safety, mirroring, which is where your parent just matches your emotions as a young child, hugs, express delight, those little moments of praise from your parent for who you are as a person. Those things that you legitimately needed, when you don't get those, that creates neglect. So think about it this way. If you had a beautiful house, but there was no oxygen inside that house, you would suffocate, right? And so the nice house doesn't change the fact that there was a lack of necessary air inside that house. And that's kind of what we're talking about here.
Your analogies are just really dark. The last few videos.
Oh, morbid.
They are a little bit. I think a way we do this, though, is like we gaslight ourselves, even just in a gentle or in a small way. But we do this as a survival strategy. As a child, it's safer to believe like I am sensitive or I am crazy. It feels safer to believe that than to believe like my caregivers are incapable of loving me.
Yeah.
A child relies on their parents for survival, and realizing a parent is emotionally incapable is too terrifying for a child to process. And then this is a survival issue. So then the child's brain flips the script from like, my parents aren't ignoring me because they're incapable. They're ignoring me because I'm bad, or because I'm boring, or because I'm needy. And it's an attempt by the child to empower themselves to change so that they can get their needs met.
Yeah.
Like, it's safer for them to say, no, it's my fault,
Yeah.
and believe that they're bad.
Yeah.
They're a bad kid in a safe world, rather than think that they're a good kid in an unsafe world.
Yeah.
Like, you blamed yourself to protect your attachment to your parents or to your caregivers. And this often shows up in adulthoods as low self-esteem, or a general sense like something's wrong with me, or self-blame.
A lot of self-blame.
A lot of self-blame.
Yeah.
This is my fault. And then this leads to, oh, I shouldn't feel this bad about my trauma. Or like, I'm a bad person for feeling this, or I'm a bad person for criticizing my parents. I find this quite a bit when processing trauma. It's like, oh, but my parents weren't bad. Like, they were good people. Like, yeah, they were. They were doing the very best with what they could. And you're struggling with this. Yeah.
Doing their best, and it wasn't enough to meet your needs.
Yeah.
As a child, like your legitimate needs.
Yes. Or any child's basic needs. It's not like there's something wrong with you and they couldn't meet your needs.
No.
It's like, no, they were struggling and they should have owned their junk.
Yeah.
And got help, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And so then I suffer as a result. You suffer as a result. And this brings up like injustice, legitimate anger, grief.
Yeah, for not getting the things that you should have had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these things come up.
Felt
heavy. I'm feeling that heavy.
It did, but this is a super common thing that we see with clients where, like, in so many ways, like, they genuinely blame themselves for what happened during their childhood.
Yeah.
It's such a common thing.
Yeah. And even now, still blame themselves rather than acknowledge the impact someone else had.
Yeah.
Because it still feels safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or another one is like a sabotaging of relationships. Like, I want intimacy, But then the moment my spouse tries to get close, and that's scary, my nervous system kicks in. They try and take care of me, whatever it is. Like I panic and I pull away.
Yeah.
So why do I do this? And this is a classic nervous system response. So if your childhood taught you that needing things equaled rejection or closeness equaled pain, your brain views intimacy as a threat. So it makes sense. Of course, you don't want to get close to somebody if that was dangerous.
Yep.
You learn to self-soothe because no one else did it.
Right.
So then there's this hyper independence. So now being soothed by someone else feels foreign and it feels unsafe. And maybe your body's telling you not to trust, like based on historical experiences. Like, no, you weren't safe back then when you trusted somebody.
Yeah.
Those people that were supposed
to turn the truster off.
Yeah, those people that were supposed to keep you safe, you can't trust. You can't trust anybody.
Yes.
The only person you can trust is yourself.
Yeah.
And you become the hyper independent.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And if this is you, it's good to remember, like, this isn't about you being permanently broken in some way, but your protection system is actually working perfectly. It's just outdated, or it's continuing to protect you past the point where you need protection.
Mm-hmm.
And so an actionable tip here is, if this is you and you are that hyper independent person, you're like, but the person I'm with in my life, like, you can think in your head, this person is safe. They see me, they get me, they understand me. Like, you made a good choice of a partner, for example. Try practicing with them some micro vulnerabilities. So let your partner just do one small thing for you, maybe like get you a glass of water, and notice what it's like to receive that glass of water and stay present to the safety and care of the moment, that this person saw a need, responded to a need, met the need.
Mm-hmm.
And just let that into your body of like what that's happening, reminding yourself, this is now, this is with this person is safe for me. And that's separate from these alarm signals that I get from my body because this wasn't safe in my childhood. So you're letting your body sort of sink into a corrective emotional experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that old emotional learning, which is driving your reactions now, you're starting to disarm that old emotional learning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you said something about it being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Or being intimate. Try a small intimate thing.
Yeah.
I think is the word you used. And then you said, let someone get you a glass of water.
I said micro vulnerability.
Oh, did you?
Did I
Okay.
say intimate?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I said micro vulnerability.
Okay.
Yeah. What's jarring you?
It's not jarring me so much as I never thought of like just allowing someone to get me a glass of water. But I guess if I'm hyper independent, then I can never let anybody it's not safe to let anybody do anything for me. I have to do.
Maybe it's like getting you a cup of tea where there's a little more prep and care involved.
Yeah.
That
okay. Yeah.
But appeal a little more. But it's kind of that idea of like, letting somebody do something for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you're currently struggling with this, therapy is a great option. It's another way to work through these things too. But that's a great thing if you're that hyper independent person. This is something that you can try at home. Now, another question we get quite often related to healing from adverse childhood experiences or early traumas like that is, can I actually heal from this if I still have a relationship with my parents or the people that hurt me? Or do I have to go no contact with them?
Okay.
And we want to be super careful here about applying generalizations to this, of course, because everybody's situation is different.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to acknowledge that in our society today, the popular thing is to cut off, to go no contact.
Ghosting?
Yeah, ghosting people. Like, it's just, there's a lot of words even around all of this right now. And I notice a lot of therapists in their podcasts are beginning to talk about like just pulling back from that a little bit and being a little bit more cautious about going straight into no contact stuff. So that's probably like a whole nother topic in itself, but let's just kind of handle it this way, right?
Okay.
You can often heal while maintaining contact. It might not work for everybody, but it can also feel like trying to heal a burn while you're standing next to a fire. You're going to have to like get something in between there. It's some kind of protective gear. And here I'm thinking of boundaries. So no contact is not a requirement for everyone, but some kind of just like beginning to what we call differentiate or internally separate is a necessity. So emotionally detaching my worth from their behavior, from the person that hurt me. That can be a super helpful step to take here, just to begin to create at least some emotional distance or maybe while you're doing the work of healing, some physical distance between you and the people that hurt you, so that hopefully one day you can come back to them with a conversation, or maybe they might be compelled to do some healing work. Who knows? That's not your responsibility, but it's okay for you to have some distance and some boundaries so that you can begin to protect the wound in order to take care of the wound for yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever that is going to look like for you.
Yeah. And then if you are in contact with them, one of the ways you can cope with or manage the situations is like through an observation mode. So when you visit them, kind of pretending you're a scientist observing a specimen. Like, oh, look, there's the passive aggressive comment again.
Yep.
Or, oh, that was gaslighting.
Yeah. You're labeling the behaviors.
Labeling it. And it gives you one layer of separation from it. So it kind of helps you keep you in your differentiated self rather than slipping back into the wounded child self.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's like a layer of protection. You just talked about our gear. And that just helps us observe and be curious, remain curious, rather than kind of sink into all the hurt that has come with that.
When you first start doing this, like you might not be able to do it real time in the moment, but as you process it afterwards, and you realize, okay, that was going on there.
Yeah.
I can separate from that. I don't have to fix that or change that. That's their issue.
Yeah.
I don't have to take on the burden that they're trying to put on me, the guilt that they're trying to place, that kind of thing.
Or even for self, like, wow, that was a really big response for something about dinner or whatever it might be. We can observe about self too. So these are the questions we hear most often, but we want to know yours. If you have a question about neglect or trauma that you've been afraid to ask, drop it in the comments. We read them and we will respond.
Indeed we will.
So another question that we get quite a bit is, I feel immense guilt when I set boundary with my aging parents. Like they seem so lonely. How do I handle this?
And this is assuming they're harmful towards people, right? Yeah.
Yes. Like obviously we're not just going to cut off aging parents or not talk to them or whatever. No.
I'm done.
Yeah. It's terrible. But yes, assuming that they've been harmful or are still harmful.
Yeah.
And guilt is often the price of admission for freedom. Like in dysfunctional families, loyalty is valued over health.
Yeah. It's more important that you're loyal to me than that I'm safe for you.
Yeah.
Which is like really dysfunctional.
Yeah, but that just, it seems like there was like a generation of that almost.
Yeah.
Because they had to do that. And all of a sudden this generation's not doing it. And so they're trying to like rein them in or something. I don't know. But yeah. So in this, I would encourage you to differentiate between like our clean pain, which is setting a boundary, but it's hard. Setting a boundary is hard. Nobody likes to kind of draw the line or have to enforce the boundary. That's really hard. So the clean pain is setting the boundary, which is hard and painful. But then there's like dirty pain, which is beating myself up for setting the boundary.
Yeah.
So yes, it's going to be hard to do it. But if I beat myself up for doing it, then that's a different kind of pain.
Yeah. I sometimes explain this to my clients, like not everything that is good or healthy to do feels good to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
It's like cleaning a wound or something. Like it's going to hurt before it can heal.
For sure. And we want you to know, like, you're not responsible for regulating your parents' emotions, right? And if they're lonely because they are unpleasant or emotionally immature or harmful, that's a consequence of their choices, not a consequence of your boundary even. So their guilt that they're placing on you usually means that you're actually breaking a generational pattern. And that might feel wrong to you because it's new more than actually because it's bad.
Yeah.
You're doing something different that has never happened in this family before, but you're also breaking a generational pattern, which is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the parent thing a little bit here.
Yeah.
Because I think we can use our busyness as an excuse not to be in touch. And so our parents get lonely because we're too busy to care.
Yeah.
So there's also that part. So we can't.
That's more than an assumption around healthy parents, but
it is.
They need more care in a later stage of life, but we're too busy for them.
Yeah. I guess I just don't want this to be misinterpreted as like, we're giving you a free pass to ignore your aging parents.
Yes. No. We're talking about this is the fourth in a series of adverse childhood experience videos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the backdrop for this particular video,
Yeah.
which is good to know. I appreciate you making that distinction. Yeah. Another kind of question that flows on from this that people sometimes ask us is, I'm terrified that I'm unknowingly passing this neglect down to my own children. How do I stop the cycle? How do I not perpetuate the same kind of stuff that I've been through, that my parents went through, that even my grandparents went through?
Am I harming my kids?
Am I harming my kids? And a lot of people bring that fear. And honestly, that's a good fear to face.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
not pleasant. Might lead to feeling some productive guilt, right? Like if you have been perpetuating patterns.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It doesn't feel good to realize that.
No. But like here you are and you're asking it, which is so good. Like that is the best part. That's where we have to start. That's the thing that is going to begin to break this chain and to break out of this cycle. So neglectful parents don't actually worry about being neglectful. So the fact that you're worrying about this is great. Now, just kind of think with me for a moment, like of ways to start to engage in this. Like, and one is like just thinking about the concept of rupture and repair. So you don't have to be perfect and make sure you never do bad things to your kids. But what is helpful is begin to learn how when there is some kind of a rupture or something goes wrong or you sense that you messed up, now you're going to take ownership and you're going to begin to repair where you mess up and you'll name what you have done.
Yeah. And like, this is the hope. The trauma of omission stops when one person decides to be conscious.
To name it, own it.
Name it, own it, make a difference. And like, if you yell, you apologize. If you yell repeatedly and apologize repeatedly, then you do the deeper work of figuring out why this is happening so you can learn to communicate gently. Or if you check out, you come back and you say, I was distracted. I'm sorry. I'm here now. Like that repair builds the resilience that you didn't get. Like you're already doing it different.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
It's exciting. And those are kind of the little things that build up towards making a difference because you're also telling the child that what I just did for you, you should not think of as normal.
Right.
Which I really, really like. But the other part that I love about all of this approach, Verlynda, is that it lets you not be perfect as a parent. Because there's so much pressure to like, get it perfect. And
like the repair is more important.
Yes. Learning to repair well. You know, it's not a pass for being bad all the time and not dealing with that junk.
No, absolutely not.
It's a pattern. But it is like a huge, I think it's a relief from having to never screw up.
Right.
Which just feels like too high of a bar, like an impossible standard.
Yeah. Because when you do screw up and then you have all the guilt about that, well, there's a way you can fix it. You don't have to carry that guilt forever.
And then your child is learning what it's like to make a mistake and repair.
Yeah.
Which is also a superb life skill.
Yeah.
For your child.
Yeah. So we know these questions are heavy. Like they touch on our deepest fears about who we are and how we love. But asking them is the bravest thing you can do. It means you're done accepting the silence and the void as your normal.
And you don't have to navigate these answers alone. So if you saw yourself in some of the questions that we just discussed in this video, let's talk. You can book a free 20-minute consultation with us at therapivo.com. That's the website for our counseling agency. And we can help you turn these questions into a roadmap for your own healing. If there's things that you want to explore, if there's patterns that you realize that have come down through your generations, you can be the first to step out of it. And we just love it when clients show up and they're sitting in front of us and they're like, hey, this thing has happened generation after generation and I want it to stop with me.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring. And it's such an honor to be a part of that journey. So we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us once again on our site at therapivo.com.